Welcome to Getting to Know You, residents and staff at Stonebridge. We're glad to have you back, and today we are really pleased that we are visiting with Mary Cannon. And it's not welcoming her to Stonebridge, but it's welcoming her to a new role at Stonebridge, our executive director. Maybe some of you have already known her when she first came here to be the director of the healthcare center, then went on to be the interim executive director.
Right.
No, assistant executive director, then interim, right?
Interim,
And
yep.
now you're the real thing.
Now the real thing. Yep.
And she's been here for a couple of weeks. And as we were trying to schedule this interview with her, I realized that this was a time when all of us were experiencing COVID in a different way. And it was under Mary's leadership that we actually went up the hill and then sort of down the hill toward what we'll let her describe, if we should use the word normal or not. But Mary, we're very delighted to have you here today and to thank you for all your leadership and what we've been going through. I'm not sure that everybody knows that the COVID experience was really under your direction, with help from some other people.
With help.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, thank you.
But as you think about that experience and being here, people are always interested in sort of what did you do before this, or how did you have the idea that managing a CCRC was a good thing to do? Of course, you didn't know when you would be doing it. So, but could you tell us a little bit about your career and how you got here?
Sure. So it's kind of interesting. I actually started out, I actually went to school to Monmouth University. It was
Right here
Monmouth
in New
College,
Jersey.
right in Long Branch. And I loved science, and I did not know what I was going to do. I graduated and I went into healthcare in a hospital setting. For 15 years, I worked with children, with the elderly, with so many different people. I worked in the laboratory as a medical technologist, and I had a lot of skills. I knew how to do phlebotomy. I knew how to do a number of diagnostic tests, and I spent a lot of my time, in the laboratory. And then I wanted to just expand what I knew, and so I went into assisted living. I learned how to be a certified assisted living administrator. I got into marketing, did a lot more marketing.
Where do you learn that?
So they actually have a school.
Really?
They have a school. You take a test, and you basically, you apply for a position in assisted living. Most places you go to apply, though, they want experience.
Right.
So it was very difficult to get into.
You have to do a residency or an intern?
It's kind of an internship.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I did an internship, and then found that it was very difficult to find a job because I had no experience. So I ended up getting into a lot of my healthcare career after the hospital was marketing, and I got to know a lot of people, a lot of networking, and it's always who you know sometimes that you get your foot in the door.
Right.
So I was able to land a position in assisted living, and not long after that, I met someone who introduced me to skilled nursing and healthcare. And what I did is I loved it. It was busy, it was challenging, something more to know, and I loved it.
Did you have to get more, like, go get a master's degree or something like that, or was it mainly through experience?
So it's you needed a college degree, a 4-year degree, and then you had to go through a program for a year, and you had to work with every department in that setting.
Yeah.
So you had to do a number of hours, and then after that you had to take a test. That was a very grueling exam, and obviously I passed it, and I was
And
able to
that's
move
state
forward.
certified, is that what it is?
It is. It's a state certified exam.
Mary, let's go back to this sort of professional experience, because I think people don't realize that this is not being a doctor, but it has all of those steps of making your way up.
It does.
So you had to take these tests, and
So I did have to take a state exam,
Yeah.
get a license, so I can't operate without a license. And then my next step was to find a position that I could take my talent and work in healthcare. So I actually was able to find a position as an assistant in a community, a skilled community. And after that, I just kept learning and kept working hard and lots of hours, and I kept moving up. I learned how to open up a brand new community from the ground up. I've learned how to take an existing community and bring it to a level. I did a lot of, I learned a lot from my years with a number of really good people.
Right.
And then until I found myself here at Stonebridge, and it was a different experience for me. A CCRC is yet another experience.
It's a philosophy too, isn't it?
Absolutely, absolutely. And I felt a little bit out of my wheelhouse a bit.
Uh-huh.
I learned quite a bit from my predecessor and all the folks that work here. So I think we're so successful is because of all the really very hardworking
Right.
people who are here.
Right. From what you were saying, I realized that you probably weren't formally trained in management or human employee development and so on, that's what you had to learn on the job.
I
And-
did,
yeah.
and you can't replace on-the-job training with that. Part of my education did tap into that, but nothing like on-the-job training. So I did do that.
So now can you reflect a little bit about the COVID experience?
Yes.
I'm not exactly even sure what I should ask you, but clearly it wasn't something that you were trained to do, and it was under a lot of pressure,
Yes.
Obviously. Maybe we should ask you, where did you get the ideas or the support? Was there a community of people that you respected that sort of decided that these were the steps that were logical? Can you give us a little bit of insight into that?
Sure. So we were all very, very surprised and taken over by this COVID-19. We all were. The world just stopped, and it never ended, and it was constantly changing. And we had to just kind of adjust to all these changes and to help pretty much keeping everyone safe from sickness and all that.
Right.
So we worked together at Spring Point with our leadership. So we did get a lot of, along with all the administrators and the executive directors, we spoke every single day for at least 2 hours every day to discuss what was going on.
Right.
And so, we really worked very hard to make sure we had everything in place. I think we were ahead of everyone else because it could have been very bad.
Right.
And we kept this virus from really wreaking havoc on our community and our other communities.
Yeah.
So, we took some guidance from our local state officials, the CDC, and our local Department of Health. And so we try to do what we could just to manage, procedures and protocols to keep everyone safe.
Right. Isn't there a sort of a hidden story of Spring Point being fortunate to have resources available that you either had purchased some supplies that you could use right away, but that you also weren't waiting for the ability to make the kinds of acquisitions that you needed in order to be safe? That,
You're right.
that
Right.
if we think of it as being part of a company,
Yes.
we were really on the good side as in comparison to other nursing places that are sort of under-financed.
You're
Would you say
absolutely
that was helpful to you?
Absolutely, absolutely. Spring Point was very helpful in making us successful and gave us the tools that we needed.
Great. Mary, we've learned that the people who listen to us are always waiting for the moment when we ask about, well, where did you grow up? Or what did you like to do as a kid? Or did somebody inspire you or something? So this is your chance to tell us, where did you grow up, if you want to tell us that, or whatever you want to say about before being a professional.
Okay. All right. Well, so I grew up in Point Pleasant. That's a beachy town, a vacation town. I've been there since I've been 7 years old.
Really?
Yes. And I pretty much stayed in Point Pleasant, only to leave it to go to school in Long Branch.
That
where I
wasn't
went.
very far away.
No, it wasn't. I like to stay close by my parents. I just like to stay close to family. So a lot of my family was in New Jersey. My dad worked at Monmouth University.
Oh.
So I was able to.
It's a
go to
beautiful
school
place.
there.
People should go and look
Absolutely.
at it.
It
Yeah.
is beautiful. They filmed Annie there,
Oh,
the movie Annie. So I went to Monmouth University, and I love I love the beach. I love the smell of the beach. So I'm one of those people. I like to have access to it, even though I don't go to the beach very often. When I step out of my house, I can smell it.
Yeah.
So I just love the ocean.
Right.
I'm married. I I am married 27 years. I have 3 children.
Wow.
They're all in school. One is practicing medicine well, not practicing, I should say learning medicine in Rowan.
Oh,
Rowan,
good program.
doctor of osteopathy.
Yeah.
Okay, and then my other son is also in his 3rd year at school, at college, and I have a daughter who's 15 years old who's a
Somebody to
softball champion.
homeschool.
Oh boy, yes. So, so we're a busy family.
Yeah.
You know, we're always doing something. We love animals. My whole family are big dog lovers. Mom, can we get a
Too
dog?
bad we didn't ask you to bring your dog.
You know what? And he would have been perfect. He would have sat perfectly next to me. But, you know, we have 3 dogs, so not a dog. I
Okay.
have 3. And 3 dogs, a cat, and a bird. So, we're definitely animal people.
And this whole place to run.
And this whole place, right? But, you know, it's nice because, you know, I kind of feel like a family here. I spend a lot of my time with everyone here, residents, staff, and I love coming to work.
Oh, good.
I am so lucky. I always look at myself and say, how did I ever get so fortunate? So I'm very grateful for where I'm at.
Right.
And I've come up a long way, a number of years with different experiences, and I'm really happy I landed here.
Right.
I pray every day. That's another thing I do. I pray every day. I'm a good Catholic girl. I teach CCD, and I think a lot of the way I am, who I am, how I respond to people, and how I lead has a lot to do with my Catholic faith. My faith comes into a lot of who I am.
Well,
So
that's really-
as a mom, and you know,
It's great to hear because, you know, CCRCs were really thought of in
Yeah.
the early days when they were bursting together in that kind of a vein.
That's
of-
why
of
I'm here.
Of supporting people and.
yeah, and I think that's the best place to be. You know, I think all of us and myself, you know, we should all operate in a way that, you know, we're honest with people. You know, we want to work to the best of our ability, right? And I think if we work like that, things will be great.
Right. Well, thank you for choosing to be with us.
So I'm very excited. I'm glad you chose me. I'm very excited, very happy. Very happy.
And thank you for getting us this far. I was going to ask you if this was normal, but I figured that was not the right question to ask. We're still working on that.
Okay.
Right.
Yes, we are.
But we look forward to doing it all together. And,
Absolutely.
And staying safe. And so it was really great to get to know you.
Thank you.
And
Thank you.
we hope we'll have another time to have a conversation about some other things that may be coming up that we all ought to know about, that in this world in which we are all being a community. So,
Yeah.
well, thank you to our listeners. I'm so delighted that you were able to join us in getting to know exactly what we hoped would happen, getting to know Mary Cannon, our relatively new executive director, but certainly someone who has known us for a long time, and that's really a great thing. So thank you very much for being with us today.
Thank you for having me.
Executive producer Jeff Teener, our timer and arranger Sandy Hyatt, and of course our recorder, our director Robin Doherty, and I'm Ingrid Reed, and I get to host this, and I feel very lucky.